let's start at the end before we dive into some of the other elements of season 5. David and Sasha, this confrontation between Nick and Renard has been building for a while now. We had one heck of a cliffhanger at the end of season 5. What were you guys trying to convey in that
Sexual
showdown?
tension. Nothing but sexual tension.
Job well done.
What were you trying to convey, David?
You didn't pick it up?
Yeah, I tried to emote as much as I possibly could. Confusion, but you can't not drown in those eyes, am I right? Oh, look at those things, those baby blues.
Yeah. Those baby greens.
Those baby greens.
Likewise.
Yeah, take it, man. Take it away.
It's been ongoing since the pilot episode. And so it's kind of fun. It's fun for me to get back to that darker side of Renard, and I love it when it's antagonistic, which it can't be any more than than where we left off.
Actually, stay tuned. It can be a little more antagonistic.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, that's a good tease. That's a good tease. To the producers, we finally found out what happened with the keys this season. This is something I've been bugging you guys about for years. It's a mystery you introduced in the pilot, and you answered it with another mystery, just as we do on Grimm. So when you did introduce this miracle stick, which we've seen has some healing properties, but we're not quite sure exactly what it does, did you know then what you would eventually have it do? And do you have a big picture plan for its role in the series as a whole?
We knew from the very beginning that eventually we'd have to figure this darn thing out. And eventually we did, sort of.
Yeah, and we sort of had a good idea what we were going to do, and we kind of couldn't find anything else to do other than that, so that's what we did.
To David.
Inside the mind of a genius.
I can't get out.
David, Nick is at a crossroads in the relationships with the two most important women in his life,
Yeah.
Adeline and Juliet,
Yeah.
who we see a glimmer of at the end.
Or Eve.
Or Eve. And he has complicated histories with both of them, 3 of them. How are we sort of defining the Eve-Juliet? With the women he's dealing with. Looking forward, which romantic relationship would you most like to see Nick pursue?
Oh, you
Well,
better answer right.
I've said this a couple times.
Knives out, ladies.
Yeah. Nick wants to be with a woman who wants to kill him the least effectively, which really is the truth of the series. I just, and not to just deflect, but I would love it to like show down like a big Jerry Springer way. Maternity testing, paternity testing.
And Bitsy and I would just like for Juliet/Eve, Adeline to have
Yeah.
a romantic relationship.
I would be out of that picture.
so.
They could be together.
Yeah, I ship it.
Ready
I also
to
want
whale.
to just say, for the record, that Eve does not need a man. And if that happens, it happens, but she doesn't need a man.
Well, Bitsy, you did get to play a very different character in season 5 with Eve, a big change from Juliet. What are you most looking forward to playing with her now that she does have her emotions back? And what did you most enjoy playing about Eve in season 5?
Well, Eve was the hardest. I've been really lucky that I've really gotten to play 3 characters on the show. It was like kind Juliet, evil Juliet, and then Eve, who was a little bit of a mix of both as far as good or evil, but it was hard because she's just so, I'm really expressive. Look at me, I'm about to like punch them both with my hands. And it was like just a really conservation of energy. My voice was really monotone. They told me to watch the Luc Besson Nikita, which I took some inspiration from, and also Ex Machina, which I loved, and I think Alicia Vikander's performance really kind of inspired me. I kind of pretended like there was a magnet at the top of my head and on the ceiling so that all the movements would be really fluid. And going forward, I think it's going, season 6 picks up where 5 left off, so it's still Eve. And I think the most interesting thing as far as like a push-pull in her psyche is Juliet popping back in? Is she going to feel emotions again and guilt because she's done a lot of really bad things?
Yes, she has. Yes, she has. We only have to go back a couple of seasons to see that. Now, for Bree and Silas, congratulations. Monroe and Rosalie are expecting. Maybe not. Yes, let's clap for that.
We don't know exactly what we're expecting, but we're expecting
I
something.
think these two over here know and probably won't tell us, though, if you want to. This is certainly a good
how
time.
much they know. We'll see.
But, the world of Grimm is at a really interesting tipping point with everything going on politically that we've seen unfold in season 5. What are you both most looking forward to seeing Monroe and Rosalie grapple with as they're about to become parents in this world?
There's going to be a lot of fretting, and not in the musical sense. We're just going to be worried, really, really worried.
I think it was, wow, my voice is so loud. Hold on. Weird. I love that in the last 2 episodes, that, Rosalie had her secret, knowing in the beginning that she's pregnant, and, they've been trying for it, and it was, a long journey for them, and of course, like Grimm always does, to get the best of news in the worst of times. And, and I think the little mini arc for Rosalie having that secret in the last 2 episodes, I think the biggest concern was what is the world going to look like with this, when this kid comes into it. I mean, they have no support system, and they are completely exposed and vulnerable.
Yeah.
And
it's a bad time to be pregnant when the entire city is like after you.
yeah, when you're like the face of someone's trying to kill you.
Yeah, we got a target on our back, so that's good storytelling. Bad timing is good storytelling. So there we are.
They're still in the tunnel, so I'm sure there'll be some foot rubs and some pickle requests pretty quickly in the tunnels with Rosalie.
Yeah, they didn't have that long of a honeymoon. Hopefully they have a bit easier pregnancy that we're seeing. Reggie,
Yes.
Woo, or should we call you Neander Woo? Woo seemed to have a pretty tenuous grasp and control of his ability in the finale. I remember talking to you when this change first overcame him, and you were like, I don't know if this could be resolved next episode. You made it through season 5. You're going
I made it through.
You made it through as Neander Woo. You're going into season 6 with it. What have you had the most fun with about this new addition to Woo?
What isn't fun to play about this character? I remember season 2, I asked for, possibly another costume besides my cop uniform, and I got one. It's called Much More Hair. So, but no, it's been, I feel this, finally, Woo feels this sense of power. It's just like, how do I harness this, though? Do I want to harness this? Do I ever turn back to what I was before? So the most fun for me is kind of like the emotional aspect of it and going through that, and they've given me such great material in terms of what to play with that. At one point, I think I went through a dream with like 3-4 different characters. But it has been going, I don't want this to go away. I want this, and I want to use it for something, hopefully not for bad. So I love that I think he's inherently a cop, and I've always kind of like imagined that I've even had a dad that was a cop. So, but in that respect, I feel like he'd always use it for that kind of force, but I'm ecstatic about this new power.
Now, Russell, Hank came so close to having a healthy romantic relationship in season 5, and then Zuri turned out to completely betray everyone. Are you hoping for some sort of confrontation there in the future, or what are you hoping comes next for Hank after he sort of struck out here?
Yeah, I've struck out 3 or 4 times now, and I don't think I can deal with another Eveline. But it was a lot of. It's just fun. The conflict is fun, and getting a chance to play with Sharon was a lot of fun. And I don't know, we didn't see her die necessarily, so she may come back. That'd be great.
Yeah, I think we left it with Eve doing something bad to her that's a little ambiguous, but we can let our imaginations work. Claire, Diana is beginning to freak me out a little bit at this point.
She is beginning to be a problem child, I guess.
Now, Adeline is doing her best to try and guide her with her abilities, but we saw her kill multiple people, in fact, in the finale. Do you think Adeline is starting to view her daughter as a threat? And are you at all concerned that Diana will start to view Nick as a threat if she really wants her mom and dad to get together?
That's a very real concern for Adeline. I think, yes, Diana is a parenting challenge.
She's a chip of the old block, isn't she?
I have read now a lot of parenting books, and like all of the parenting manuals tell you that you need to govern with a firm hand, and children like boundaries, none of which I've been able to put into play in my own life. So, I think she needs to be firm with Diana and say, hey, this is
this is bad or this is good.
People is bad.
But the other thing is, but if Diana gets upset with her and hears an answer that she doesn't want, there's always the chance that Diana could, kill her mother.
It's a fine line.
It's a very, very fine line. So that's I have no answers.
I think you should just take her dolls away from her.
That would be a good
For a
start.
Just for starters. No more dolls.
Yeah.
I don't know who gave her those dolls to begin with, but they're pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, who did? That's actually a really good question.
We did.
Now, for Jim and David, we saw pretty much Hadrian's Wall and Black Claw, these two, as you said, global sort of conspiracies in different ways, both crumble, it seems like, in the finale. What can you tease for what comes next in the Grimm story? What's the next big threat we're going to be dealing with in season 6?
Well, we have to explain that stick we found, and so far we've seen that it has some healing capacity, but we're going to learn there's no such thing as a free lunch. And where does that thing come from? How does it affect people? What is it going to do to the world?
Yeah, we pick up right where we left off because we figured we dug enough holes for ourselves that we have to now get out of.
So it's
Literally.
It's going to be
We're in a
bigger,
tunnel.
badder, bolder, and hairier this season.
As we expect on Grimm. Now, David, you're directing an episode this season.
Big mistake. Yes, thank you.
So you're directing episode 3.
Correct.
Why did you decide you wanted to go behind the camera this season, and what has been the most fun for you about directing your first episode?
Well, first of all, I just want to say I humbly approached this entire thing, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. And my approach for the episode is I know it's a gift that's being given to me in a way, and so I have to be, if I'm 99% prepared, I'm a jerk. I have to be just absolutely 100% prepared. And I have tremendous amount of notes for all of my cast. Gonna finally fix them.
Can't wait.
And, yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a really fun episode.